Hi guys, this is Michelle's Canine Training, and today we are going to do a video on the place command. This command is one of the most important things to teach your dog because it does a lot of magic when it comes to state of mind. And state of mind is something that I think is extremely important to address when it comes to dog training. I believe that without all of the structure in the home, as well as implementing the place command on a daily basis for duration work, the obedience side would definitely falter. By implementing duration work with your dog on a daily basis, you're basically conditioning them to slow down. So dogs oftentimes are really reactive and impulsive, right? They run out the door, they see something, they just go and grab it. And oftentimes owners aren't able to provide a reasonable consequence to stop their dogs from doing these things. And so the dogs continually engage in this behavior and then it sort of spirals out of control. Duration work puts a halt to that because for the place command, what you're basically asking them to do, I'm going to just walk her onto the cot as a demonstration, but I'll show later on how I would teach it. I'm going to walk around here. Good. So the thing is, Riley is obviously already very familiar with the command. It's good that she automatically laid down because that is basically what we will be expecting the dog to be in. They will be in a down. Our expectation for our dogs when they're on the cot is that they have to be calm and they cannot get off the cot unless we release them. And having that standard allows for the dog to stop caring about anything. They're allowed to just stay there. They can relax. They can really calm their mind. If anything is going on around them, in the beginning they might be reactive to it, but we are teaching them that, hey, leave it. Stuff is always going to be going on around you in the world, but you don't have to react to everything, and you don't also have to choose to act on it. Place is an excellent command because it is so useful for our daily lives. So lately we've been working from home, and it's been great because she has been practicing place while I'm working throughout the day. And there's always a ton of distractions going on. On Fridays, the garbage truck comes and it makes so much noise and she's just here sleeping. She actually places right next to the air conditioner, which is pretty loud, and she's able to sleep right next to it. I've got cats. So the cats sometimes, when they feel like it, they start playing with each other and batting at each other, making cat noises, and she's just fine staying on here. Sometimes I vacuum right under the cot and I expect her to stay right on it. Sometimes if I want to do a workout and I don't want my dog getting in my way, I place her and I do my workout. Or even for cooking, it's great because dogs tend to follow you a lot, right? And especially when I'm cooking in the kitchen, I don't want her getting in my way. I walk around a lot, right? Getting something from the fridge, going to the sink, washing stuff. So just in general, this command is fantastic. And I really think it is a game changer. I think it is a staple in dog training and a huge difference when you start implementing it. I didn't start implementing it with Riley specifically until maybe I'd say close to a year old. So I did find out about the e-collar at 6 months, but didn't realize what the place command was and didn't hear about it until later on. So once I started implementing it, I noticed a big difference in her demeanor and just her behavior in general was greatly improved. So when it comes to state of mind, what I want people to think about is if someone is more calm and they're also more relaxed and not as eager to rush forward with things, then they're also able to take some time to think about their actions. So that is basically what we're training our dog to do when it comes to any of the household structure. We're teaching them to slow down, take some time to think about their actions, and while they're doing that, they're also looking to us for guidance. So everything that we do, crate training, when they're coming in and out of the crate for that threshold, and then the door threshold, they're sitting and they're waiting for us to let them go. And this is the same exact thing. So this kind of mentality carries to the outside world where even though they might see something that's completely new to them, that excites them, they don't act on it because we've trained them to be not as impulsive and not reactive. And then maybe their first impulse when it comes to something outdoors is they'll look to us for guidance. So in the beginning, I would be implementing use of treats on a dog that has never done this command before, but since we're with Riley, I won't be doing that. So first off, I would say that you want a dog that is solid with knowing what the down command is, because after they walk on the cot a couple times and get used to that sensation with praise, then you would start implementing the down. So in the beginning, just walk them up to it. All right, come on. And then you can just walk them right off of it. So introducing them to the cot, you want to do it a couple times, praise them so that they know that stepping onto it is what they're supposed to do. And it's also not something that they engage in often, right? We don't normally have dogs walking on something elevated in front of them. So that's why we want to praise them once they step on it. So let's try that again. All right, come on, pups. Good. There you go. Good. So after a few times of that, we will start to stop after we get them on there, and then we want them to down. All right, so let's go. Good. Good. So I didn't say it because she's used to doing it, but right after you step on and their entire body is on there, you would say down, and then they would go down, and then you would praise them. In the beginning, while you're still doing the introductions of getting them on there, if they sit on there too, praise them for that as well. So after you do this for a couple seconds, we can release them. All right, come on. Normally, I would say break, but since this is different from our normal routine, I'm avoiding doing that, so I'm not confusing her or anything. All right, come on. So after you guide your dog onto the cot a couple times, I would say at first I want to get them used to the motion and the command before I start layering on the actual command name. So after we've done this a couple times where I've walked the dog onto the cot and then they go on, eventually after you've walked them on and said down enough times, they will start to understand that the second they walk on, their next expectation is to go into a down. So repeat that a couple times where you say the down command to them strictly, and then afterwards, once they start doing it on their own, you can avoid saying the command and see if they'll do it. And if they do, definitely praise them. But do this a couple times where you can walk around. Make sure you still have your hand on the leash, because in the beginning, some dogs will be in tune with you, right? So when you're moving, they will think that they have to get off, or they will try to follow you. And all you do is you say no, bring them back on, and then bring them back into a down.
Down.
Good. It's okay. Yeah, you can leave it. She's pretty good about staying, it seems.
Yeah.
But like they need to calm down.
Break. Good. Down. Good.
I like that she auto puts her head down.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Break. Good.
So in this clip, the act of him moving his body before Luna finished her down caused her to be distracted and walk off the cot. So when that happens, he just said no and then brought her back on. But that is something else we need to keep in mind. Our body and the placement of it and when we choose to move it is really important. Dogs notice these things. So there would be a really high chance that she would have finished her down if he chose to stand still instead of moving.
Break. Good.
I would recommend that you get a raised dog bed like this, because it really helps to set a firm boundary and understanding for where the dog needs to be. If you put a dog bed just on the floor, or like in the past, I've used a towel just to show a boundary, but it can be really confusing for the dog because it's all on an even level. So they might not fully understand where they're expected to be. Another rule that I also want to specify is that while the dog is doing the command, you should discourage any sort of sniffing, because sniffing is distracting. That's not really something they should be engaging in. Anytime they're following through with the command, I would discourage sniffing. So over time, as you practice the place command, there's all sorts of things you can implement. Duration is obviously the biggest one. So you want to start small and then gradually start making it more difficult for them. And then as you do that, you have to practice walking around your house. You can stay in line of sight at first, where you go into the next room, maybe the kitchen right there, or eventually you start going behind walls. So you go to the bedroom back there, I can go to the bathroom over there. It is a really, really great and powerful command. It does wonders for your dog's state of mind. It is really, really good for them. I often like to refer to it as doggy meditation, right? We kind of do the same thing ourselves when we're meditating. We sit in one spot, kind of close our mind, and we try to prevent any sort of outside thoughts from remaining in our mind. We kind of like get rid of it anytime it surfaces, and instead we focus on our breathing. So I would highly recommend that you implement the place command into your daily routine with your dog. Duration work is a really, really positive benefit for your dog. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask it in the comment section below. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would really help me out. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.